So, um, everyone, so this is my last video, and for the 56 days of me process, and the days are pretty much done now. I start work tomorrow, and I'm really excited, but I'm tired. I think just because of all the stuff that I've been having to do with the rabbits and, getting ready for it and enjoying the last few days that I have of my leave of absence, which have been more or less like summer vacation. But with a lot of activities involved and a lot of rest too. But I think it was a very eye-opening experience for me to really take a step back for a long period of time and reflect on where I want to go, what I've done, and most of the time just living for the moment. And I know that sounds cliche, but it really was just for the most part just let me just do me and see what I want to do for the day without having to actually plan for it. I know there were some things that I did that were planned, so like my trip to Vegas with my best friend Claudia, and my solo trip to the Grand Canyon, and everything in between. I wasn't planning for the rabbits, but then once they came, I had structure and I had routine, and that in a sense kind of made me miss working and made me really excited to actually go back to work, but not the exact place that I left, so now I have this whole new chapter to begin and to learn and to figure out what it is that I want to learn next. And there's still so much stuff I need to do for myself mentally, to get myself better, to get myself stronger. I really did learn a lot about myself as to how much I can push myself to really really take. And everyone has a limit, and I reached a limit, and this whole process has taught me to be okay to not always say yes, and you have the right to choose your own path. And if you're not growing where you are, it's a no-brainer. It's a sign for you to leave. It's you can probably sugarcoat it and make excuses and be in denial for a long period of time. That's exactly where I was, and but I didn't want to be like that anymore, and I chose to leave. And it was scary but exciting also, because now there's this whole new adventure ahead of me. And I'm pretty scared of it, but it's gonna be okay. And I'm still doing a whole lot of self-help, and I still want to do a bunch of trips. And I'm gonna stay with one of the rabbits, so I'm gonna have a pet that can actually give me something to take care of for a while other than myself. But I'll end with one thing though, that I actually I know it's gonna sound like another cliche, but one thing that really just kind of hit me, the next thing that I really want to work on, is that whole loving yourself train of thought. Because I've heard it, and I know what to do, and I understand it, but I don't think I've been adapting it to how it should be for me. I think there's still things that I need to work on for myself to be confident and to not be so insecure. And like I said, I really want to be an inspiration for those that don't think that they can be leaders, and and change their minds and make turn their lives around. Because that's something I'm trying to do for myself. So this journey has been healing and eye-opening, and I could not have asked for a better 2 months off from the routine. And it's has made the transition from my old job to this new job like incredibly, worth it. The next thing I'm going to work on is pretty much just to improve myself, and there's going to be a lots of ups and downs, but I think that's how life is, and I kind of want to share that with everybody, mostly just so that I can also take an account of how far I've come along. So I haven't really nailed it on a name of the next series, but it just is just gonna be something to better myself and keeping track of how I'm doing so far with my new job and with therapy, and what I'm doing to not fall back into that dark area where I was just angry all the time and depressed and not confident with how I look and feel. So a lot of self-improvement, but with a lot of help from my therapist and my doctor and friends and family and all that stuff. I'm gonna try to now incorporate them into this new format and this new take on how I'm trying to improve myself mentally and physically. So I'm hoping that it'll be a lot of fun, but then also help me to share some of the stuff that I'm going through, and that may be that it may also be that other people are going through that same thing, and to show that they're not alone, and that I'm not alone in it also. So anyways, 56 days of me, it's done. I feel great, super happy about it. I do want to do this again in the future, maybe not 56, maybe 20 or 30, but I highly recommend it, and it's definitely necessary for your mental health. And thank you for watching and being part of this, and it's been fun. So now let's see what else I can gather, and I've learned so much too with all these tools, so I'm gonna try to apply some new techniques and hopefully learn some better editing skills. Yeah, so thanks everyone, and until next time, bye.